Coming up on today's show, we're going to unpack some major news as Keith Smith of Spotrac sat down with the Knicks coach, executive, and a scout at the Summer League, and he shared their plans for the upcoming season. Good stuff coming up around the corner, but if you're like me and you miss watching New York Knicks hoops, hit that thumbs up icon. The season will be here before you know it, and we're going to be breaking it down every single day. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for rolling in. As we react to some major news around Tyler Kolek, we're going to talk about Mikal Bridges and his extension, Ariel Hukporti and his role for the upcoming season. But I want to start with the offseason moves that the New York Knicks have made and what the front office and coaching staff thinks those moves are going to bring to this team. As we know, the New York Knicks went out and signed Guerschon Yabusele to a 2-year, about $10 million deal, $5 million each year. And then they were able to sign Jordan Clarkson to the veteran minimum after he was bought out by the Utah Jazz. A Knicks coach told Keith Smith and Spotrac this: "We didn't have a lot that we could do because of the apron, but we were able to land a really good big man in Guerschon Yabusele and an experienced backup guard in Jordan Clarkson. We feel pretty good about getting those two guys." And I think that they should. Look, the Knicks only had the non-taxpayer or the taxpayer mid-level exception, which was a 2-year, $10.2 million deal. And you were able to actually get Guerschon Yabusele to take that deal and take a little bit of a discount on it, so you still have one more roster spot open to sign a veteran minimum player. And the fact that you got Jordan Clarkson on a veteran minimum deal, look, Clarkson is not going to change life for the New York Knicks. But if he was a free agent and he wasn't bought out, he'd be signing for a nice little bag, way more than the veteran minimum. The guy averaged 16.2 points per game last year. He could score it. He could shoot it. He can handle. He can play on ball. He can play off ball. I think it's of players that have come off the bench that have played more than 500 career games off the bench, he averages the most points per game in NBA history. Then you had Guerschon Yabusele, who I'm a big fan of, a powerful four that could score the ball from all three levels, an elite three-point shooter from above the break. It's going to bring a real scoring punch off the bench for the New York Knicks, an area that they really struggled last year. Since Jalen Brunson has joined the team, the non-Jalen Brunson minutes have been an Achilles heel for this ball club. I think it was in the playoffs, the Knicks had the least points per game coming off the bench. In the regular season, they were towards the bottom as well. But now with Miles McBride, Jordan Clarkson, potentially Josh Hart or Mitchell Robinson, with Guerschon Yabusele coming off the bench and still some young guys like Ariel Hukporti, Kolek, and Dadier, your bench went from maybe one of the worst in the NBA to top 10. Am I being too much of a homer there? I don't think so. Jordan Clarkson, 6th man of the year guy, 16 points per game. Yabusele averaged 11 points. That's 25 points coming off the bench. Probably won't do that this year for the Knicks, but they are able to put the ball in the basket, and that's a major move. And those offseason moves that the Knicks made, the New York Knicks believe that can help them put together an NBA Finals run. And at this point, that's what you're looking for. You've made it out of the first round. Pretty much, 3 years under Tom Thibodeau now? You've gotten to the second round 2 times. You were able to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Got to keep getting better. Got to keep leveling up. It's time to get to the finals. And this Knicks coach, he believes that these moves are going to help him. We're close. We were already right there. Now we think we're even closer. It's a great group. And the additions we made will push us even further. 100% agree. We talked about it yesterday. The Athletic has the New York Knicks ranked as the second team on their power rankings. Second best team in the NBA. This is a finals-type roster. When you roll with Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl-Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, Guerschon Yabusele, Jordan Clarkson, that's an elite top 8. There's not many teams that have 8 better players than that. And then hopefully one of these young guys take a step as well. I hate the word Super Bowl or bust in the NFL or NBA Finals champs or bust, but anything short of getting to the finals this year would feel like a disappointment in my eyes. Obviously, things can change throughout the seasons. things can arise and circumstances can happen that change what is expected to happen for this team. But if everything goes to plan, this is a team that should be able to get to the NBA Finals, especially in a weaker Eastern Conference. Like, Boston's not a contender this year. Indiana is not a contender. Unless Giannis plays the best basketball of his career and some, they're not a contender. Like, the time is now. Go punch your tickets. Let's do it. Could a Mikal Bridges extension be coming? What are the Knicks thinking when it comes to a Mikal Bridges extension? He could have signed it 4 days after the NBA Finals wrapped up. It's like a 4-year, $156 million deal that he could put pen to paper to sign right now. If he does sign it, he can't be traded for 6 months. Are the Knicks and him far apart on a deal? Why has it not been signed? I have my theories. I don't know exactly, but I thought what this Knicks front office executive said was pretty interesting. We hope to get something done. When you make the commitment to trade for a player like we did with Mikal, you do it with the intention of them being on the team for a long time. And, like, that sounds good in theory, right? Like, we traded 4 of our own first-round picks. We traded the Milwaukee Bucks first-round pick that we owned. We also did a first-round pick swap. You essentially traded the control of 6 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. Yeah, you probably want to keep him on the roster, but it's a little bit tricky because if he doesn't sign an extension because he thinks he's worth more than what we're able to offer him right now, you're leaving yourself with no leverage because he could then enter NBA free agency this time next year and leave the Knicks for absolutely nothing. And you get nothing back. And we just did this song and dance with Julius Randle last year. You all told me, Marshall, stop talking about trading Randle. We are never trading Randle. Randle is the New York Knicks. And what did I tell you? If Randle does not put pen to paper on an extension, the Knicks are going to trade him because that is how Leon Rose operates. He wants to have player control. With the Knicks being a second apron team, you can't just lose that $30 million salary cap slot. You got to find a way to either extend it into the future because the Knicks aren't going to be having salary cap space anytime soon, or you have to flip that for another contract to have a player of that value. And what if there's a trade coming? Like, you want to be able to trade Mikal Bridges because he's a very valuable player. And if the Milwaukee Bucks call you and say, yo, Giannis requested a trade and he said he wants to be a Knick, and you can't trade Mikal Bridges, you're going to have to give up probably more than you want. You want to be able to have all the tools in your bag available if that big fish becomes available. But I also think that an extension does get done. Do I think it's done before the NBA season? Now, I'm not really sure. There's no real rush for the New York Knicks either. Like, there's no difference if they sign him now or one day into the NBA season. I'd probably wait because I want to give myself an opportunity to make that big move if it becomes available. I do think he'll be here for a long time unless some crazy trade arises. Are the New York Knicks actually going to be playing younger guys in the rotation? That sounded like one of the main reasons that they fired Tom Thibodeau. Didn't place a big enough importance on developing the youth. Could that change? A Knicks scout said this to Spotrac. This is a tough rotation to crack. We have a lot of NBA veterans who are going to play a lot. But Pacome Dadier looked a lot more comfortable this year than last year. Tyler Cole got some run last year, and we're comfortable with him playing more this year. Ariel Hukporti was forced to play at times last year, and he's more ready if that happens again this year. Kevin McCullough Jr. and Marjon Beauchamp both looked awesome at Summer League. We're still figuring out the rest of the roster, but we hope all of those guys factor in somehow. And that's pretty refreshing to hear. Like, the Knicks haven't really, with Tom Thibodeau, rightfully so, because Tibbs is only going to play Tibbs guys, haven't really done a good job of developing and even essentially drafting players. Like, they didn't really do that under Tom Thibodeau once they got Jalen Brunson. But last year, they added 4 guys in the NBA draft. And they drafted Mohamed Diawara this year. Like, you have to find a way for Kolek, Dadier, McCullough, Hukporti, or Diawara. 2 of these 5 guys. Can 2 of these 5 young men be contributors to winning within the next 2 or 3 years? Because you're going to need it to happen. You're going to need cheap contracts to be able to go to players that can perform. Because this is going to be a second apron team. And once you're a second apron team, you are handcuffed on the type of things that you could do to improve your roster. Like, the Knicks are capped out. They're going to be capped out for a while. How do you continue to add talented players when you're capped out? Through the draft. Young, cheap, cost-controlled contracts. You need some of those guys to be impact players down the line. I'm not saying all-stars. I'm not saying any of that. Can Home.ea turn into a 12-minute per game night that shoots 38% from three and averages 8 points per game? That'd be awesome. And that's on Mike Brown. That's why you hired him. For that youth movement. To develop some of those guys. So that's what we're looking for. I think you could see Tyler Kolek this year. We've also seen that the Knicks have been interested in signing a backup guard. I think that will factor into how much Kolek is used off the bench as that point guard. I didn't think he played all that well in the Summer League, but I also think he's better in an environment where he has legit NBA talent around him because he's not a shot creator. He's not hunting for a shot. He's hunting to get his teammates the best shot. And it's a lot different when you drive and kick and you throw a pass in the corner to OG and Anunoby compared to, no disrespect, Marjan Beauchamp. Like, when you have more talent around you and you're a floor general and a table setter, you're naturally going to look better. But he's got to get better as well. Got to take a step. There were moments last year where it was like, okay, I can see this guy being a long-term backup point guard in the NBA. Make sure you're taking advantage of our deal. This shirt, Sorry I Was Hoopin', New York Knicks t-shirt, is 50% off at this link. Chatsports.com/NYKHoop. That's chatsports.com/NYKHoop. It was $60. Now it's $30. So get a shirt, save $30, and take your girl to dinner or something like that. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. You guys are real ones who's been supporting the channel like crazy. If you're on Twitter or you're on Instagram and you want more Marshall Green in your life, hit me up over there.